evolved as a person. I got these feelings, but I didn't trust them. You know, it was early, and I was feeling things, and I was like, that ain't right. You know, I always had good instincts. It's like, that ain't right, but, you know, I was doing my thing, and, you know, new cars and girls, and I didn't really want to hear it at the time. And he was like, man, you fucking stupid, man. You wasting your talent. I thought he was jealous at the time. It's like, man, crazy. You see this Pathfinder? But I knew that something wasn't right about the things that I was doing. My conscience was alive. And so I just decided to let that street life go and just really focus on music. This is what I love to do. If I had my choice to be successful in the street or be successful making music, it would be making music. So let me treat it like that and give it my all. And when I did, you know, it happened pretty much right away for me when I dedicated 100%.
Yo, what up, YouTube? Welcome to Sinn-Take, man. My name is Jason, coming back at y'all with another one, man. And as y'all can see, I'm coming live from the Rose Garden, man. What up with it? You know, got God looking down on us, man. You know what I'm saying? He woke us up another morning, man. God bless, man. Thank you to the Most High. But real fast, though, listen, in that clip, you have Jay-Z pretty much describing the call that he got. You know, the feeling that he had that something wasn't right. You know what I mean? And pretty much having to make a choice between being successful in the streets or being successful in the music. And guess what? He chose music. And that means that he answered that call that I keep telling y'all about, that feeling. And it's crazy you find a video like this to where he talking about the same feeling that I'm talking about. You know, of course, I'm obviously not Jay-Z, and I haven't lived the life that Jay-Z has. But guess what? I got that same call. I got that same call in a different way. And I picked up, and he did too. And guess what? It worked out for him, just like it's working out for me too. You know what I mean? I'm just living in my truth. I'm living in my truth. Jay-Z, he living in his truth, you know? And I still got a long way to go in my transition, because me too as an artist, right? You know, I started having these feelings a while back, but I refused to pick up, you know, just like he did. You know, he didn't want to accept it. Me, I didn't want to accept it because I wasn't mature enough. I'm like, fuck that. I said, fuck that, just like him. You know what I mean? I'm like, hell no, you know what I mean? This is all that I know. You know, this is the only thing I know what to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I first got into music, you know, I wanted to talk about, of course, things that I saw and things that I was going through. But at the same time, I still wanted to talk about and rap about the shit that, you know, that I like listening to. You know what I mean? I loved all of the same music that y'all probably do. Tupac, 3 6 Mafia, you know, Dipset, all that shit. So I wanted to rap, I wanted to sound like that with my own little twist. But, you know, now that I'm growing and now that I'm transitioning, you know, I want to talk about more. You know, I want to talk about more. I don't want to be on this camera trying to be positive and then in my music be all the way negative, you know? And the thing with that was, you know, I mean, you know, it's a tough move in general, because you just used to talking about something. You know, you used to talking about things. And, you know, at the same time, you expressing yourself, you getting things out, you know, that you just always wanted to say. You just doing it in music. But then again, that don't always make it right. Even though you could not mean any harm because you just expressing yourself, you don't know how other people that may be listening to you can take that. So that's a part of me growing, is taking that into consideration, you know. And a lot of these situations too, where you seeing with these artists, you know, they having a struggle. They struggling with themselves because they don't know. They didn't make that decision like Jay-Z made that decision to just, you know what I mean, just be successful in music. When he made that decision, like he said, it was almost instantaneous. You know, That's because he picked up, he got that message, and guess what? The universe started working in his favor. You know, and at the same time, that feeling that he was having, he know that shit, you know what I mean? Just from the track record of the streets, he know that that shit ain't gonna last long. And a lot of these rappers these days, they not getting that call. They don't want to pick up. They refuse to pick up and choose a side. You know what I mean? And then by then, even when they try to attempt, it's too late. You know, FBG Duck, I think he was close. I think he was close because he started trying to bring guys together. You know what I mean? But by then, it was too late. And he lost his life. King Von, you know, he couldn't, you know, he probably had a stroke, because you could look at King Von and you could see that he was a good dude. You know what I mean? Clearly a product of his environment, but you know, his past just caught up with him. You know, it just caught up with him. Not saying that it was something that is from his past that got him killed, but I say his mentality played a part in it. You know, his mentality played a part in it. You know what I'm saying? But there comes a time for all of us where we have to choose sides. We have to make a decision. We have to make a decision, especially if it comes to something that you love and that you truly want to do. Music is something that I love and truly want to do, and I want to live through that. I want to live through that. And the positive side about my situation is I'm an independent artist, so I haven't like reached my peak yet. I haven't even came close to it yet. You know, the world don't know who I am right now. You know what I'm saying? The world don't know who I am. So it's like, if I was to like blow up or get on or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? The world will know me from what I blew up from. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not in the game yet. So because it'll be awkward, right? Like let's say Jeezy. You know, the Snowman. You used to the Snowman. You used to him just making killer hits, man. Just taking over the streets, man, with some of his lyrics, man, with, you know what I mean? Jeezy, shout out to Jeezy. You know what I mean? One of the coldest dudes to come out of Atlanta, to come out of the South, with some of the hardest music to ever drop for the trap niggas and shit like that, man. You know what I mean? But you could tell, whether people want to admit it or not, Jeezy starting to wake up. Jeezy don't rap about that same stuff no more. So it's tough for him, but he chose to answer that call and grow up. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that he ain't been grown, but you know what I mean? He want to live in his truth. He been living in his truth, but right now, he not on that. He not on that. You know what I'm saying? He was on that. That was a part of his evolution. That was a part of him evolving. He's evolving now. So it's not like he could, like if he wanted to, he could still rap about that same shit. But I think deep down inside, he don't think it'll be right. You know, because at the same time, Jeezy see what's going on out here with these kids. You know what I'm saying? Because Jeezy was one of them. He was one of them. So he knows. He knows. So now he's switching it up. But there will come a time for all of us where we're going to have to make that decision. Like Jay-Z made that decision. You know what I mean? It's just going to be in different ways. But we all going to run into that. And we're going to have to answer the call and make that decision. Growth. All it's about is growth. And your instincts is trying to tell you, like, look, hey, switch it up. You know, do this. You're not on that right now, because if you go to this route, this is where your heart at, and guess what? It's going to be easy for you. But if you try to stay over here and just try to keep that same momentum because that's what's keeping you fed, that's what's getting you paid, then guess what, man? That shit going to run dry. That shit run dry, man. A lot of these mugs, man, when you see them still in the streets, that's because they don't want to let go. They done been to jail about a dozen times. They done been to prison, they done did biz, they just don't want to let it go. They do not want to let it go. They do not want to try something new because that's all they know. And guess what? We're not here to stay the same. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. We are not here to stay the same. We here to grow like these trees. Like these trees, we're here to grow like these trees, man. The Most High didn't put us up here to not grow. The Most High didn't create this sun which give us vitamins that help us grow. He didn't make it rain out here for us to not get wet and bloom and turn into, you know what I'm saying? We seeds. We seeds. So we supposed to grow. We supposed to evolve. But a lot of people refuse to, and that's when you start to go against the universe. That's when you start to go against the laws of God. And that's when you end up in a situation that you might can't get out of. That's when your life starts spiraling out of control. That's when you start suffering from anxiety, depression, stress. That's when all those things start tumbling down on you. You wondering why your life in shambles because you refuse to grow. You don't want to accept what is. You know what I'm saying? And you too busy trying to be what ain't. You ain't that no more. When you ain't that no more, it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to move on. When you know that it's time for you to grow, it's time for you to take the steps you need to take to get to where the Lord, the man up above, the universe is trying to lead you to. The universe is trying to lead you somewhere, but you refuse. You just, you know what I mean? Like your feet, your heels is dug in. Your heels be dug in, and some of y'all need to get out of that shit. It's not helping you grow like these trees. It ain't helping you grow like these trees. You know what I'm saying? Your roots dug in like that, but you're not going nowhere. You're not growing. You're not getting, you're not none of that shit. And then you wonder when you hang around, you know what I'm saying? You be around certain people and you like, man, I don't fit in here. No, you don't fit in here. Because these people, they grew the fuck up. And you refuse to. And then you want to sit there and look sad inside because you can't even sit there and have a grown man conversation with people. You know why? Because you're not on that time. You still on that young boy time. You still on that young boy time. So you got to get out of that, man. A lot of y'all, you listen, y'all gonna figure it out, but the time is now. The time is now. You cannot stay the same forever. So you have Jay-Z explaining that, he had to evolve. He answered the call. He had that feeling and he made his choice. And guess what? It was history after that. History after that. So there will come a time for all of y'all that may be watching this video for you to make a decision. Make the right one. All right? My name's Sinn, it's Sinn-Take. Holla at y'all later, man. Peace. First, I'ma get on my grind. Then second, stop wasting my time on shit less important. If ain't about money, I'm going the other direction. And third, I'ma do what I gotta to eat. Fourth, I'ma sew up the streets. Fifth, I'ma never quit dropping this heat. So as long as I'm breathing, you better get used to me. Sixth, I'ma